Camaro gets traded around here.
Oh yeah. Hey guys, welcome back. We got the Camaro here, so yeah, we're gonna hopefully push it into the driveway again finally. So we're gonna move the Explorer out of the way and then move it into the driveway. Tristan and I were just like looking at this and brainstorming a little bit more. We might need to block off the heater core and just loop this, or we might need to, I mean, this AC, whatever this is, this reservoir type thing, it's gonna go away. We could even see about getting it upright, just out of the way and heat shielded, and then extend these lines to loop it. Also, one big thing that Tristan brought up that I didn't consider is, unfortunately, when we built this motor, we did not actually gap the rings, and since it's going to be seeing some pretty decent boost now that we're going to be turbocharging it, I mean, we should have even done it when it was supercharged. We just didn't know.
But yeah, we just didn't know. This was our first engine rebuild, like at all ever.
We might, well, we're going to have to tear it down to gap the piston rings, and honestly, this has been sitting here. It's been covered, but has had no intake on it, and we don't know if something got in there. So it's also been sitting for like 2 years now. It's
at least the engine's been sitting a year.
Yeah,
built.
so it's just going to be for the best to check it out and make sure everything's okay inside, and then gap those piston rings, because I mean, everything's built and it's a strong motor, but just when you're running boost, that really kills the motor. Like the piston rings expand and it'll just crack these stock pistons. That's, I mean, one of the biggest things. You get some, you know, some knock retard on there, and
yeah, we want, we like, it's just not really an option to run stock rings on this kind of a setup. That so we just forgot about that, and we really didn't think about that when we were building this engine, because it was our first engine. Yeah, it's just something we just overlooked, and well, we're gonna have to fix that.
I mean, we won't have to really do much anything else. Like, I mean, take the cylinder heads off. We won't need to like resurface anything. I mean, it's new fresh head gaskets. We'll just be able to reuse those. Just take it off, put it back on.
Yeah, and
even have copper, you know, spray or whatever.
And
we need more adhesion.
I also wanted to, like, one of the reasons I wanted to take off the head is just because I wanted to verify that there were no there's no rust on the cylinder walls. Though we have had all the spark plugs in, I feel like 3 of them got put in later.
Yeah.
I think so. It sat with 3 of the spark plugs not in it, and then obviously with the
even though we had a tarp on it, I can feel in the cylinder ports there's like condensation a little bit. There's no visible rust or anything, but it's just not good. It's been sitting, so it's an unknown thing. We don't want to just run it, you know.
Yeah, so we want to we want to do it right instead of just put it together, make it run, and then it blow up for something stupid.
Yep.
And so we're just making a game plan for what is in store next, because, you know, we move the battery to the back. We're gonna have to wire that up. You know, we're gonna have to go straight up and down radiator and condenser. We'll have to cut so we're gonna have to modify this.
The bumper support.
We're going to have the other K member in, so we might have more room for certain things like the exhaust. What else do we have to do? We have to get the obviously the
wiring harness we extended for the supercharger, because we have to relocate the coils. The coils can now go to their stock location, I believe, so we don't even need the extended harness, so we might shorten it back or just buy a new harness.
Yeah, because it was the plug for the ICM is very I mean, it's like very small and simple, so I think that would be very cheap to just buy off of someone. But yeah, I extended it like 2.5, 3 feet, because we thought that we are gonna have to put the coils on one of the
somewhere else
firewall or you know, part of the other engine bay, instead of like having them where they normally are on an F body, which is like, what is it, like on top, or like, I forget where they are because it's been so long. The
coils for like a Camaro, like an LS1, are on the valve cover part.
Yeah.
Yours would sit like right here.
And oh, and then we also made custom length spark plug wires.
Yeah, we don't even.
We're not gonna need anymore.
We use stock length now.
But that's fine. Probably will just buy stock, because because then I can just buy them anywhere if they burn up or whatever. Or we could use the long ones anyway.
We're gonna need some heat management for sure. The fuel line stock come right here. Just heat management pretty much everywhere. I mean, the clutch line. There's like just crap everywhere. This is part of the
Oh my god.
The wideband.
Oh, is it?
It's part
Okay,
of the
I thought that
wideband.
was part of the headlights. Like, this is also something I hate. I bought the car with this, and it's just a rat's nest of freaking wiring that the previous owner did, and I don't see the...
Comes to like a relay and
I don't
stuff.
see I don't see the quick connects for the original headlights.
We'll have to do some reinvention of this, because like, why do there's so many different terminals and crap. I think it comes down here, these original white ones.
And since they spliced all this up, I don't see the original connector for the headlights, so I can't just switch to OEM without modifying the wiring, which is really a pain in the ass, because I don't like these headlights, and I think they're just horrible. They're super cheap, and so they don't actually have any proper mounting
alignment or mounting.
They don't actually line up to the existing things, so I've had to space it out with on that side and this side. I've had to space them out
like nuts and stuff
with a couple just nuts and bolts, just so they weren't moving, because originally the day I bought this, you just push this and it would fall in. That's how shitty that they had that. So I kind of want to rip all that out. We got to wire up the meth pump eventually. The battery, got to make a battery box.
Then we're gonna have to get a heat exchanger. We're gonna have to get a relay for the water pump. We're gonna have to mount the water pump somewhere.
Yep.
For the intercooler system.
We're probably gonna take this Camaro, or at least modify it. I kind of want a completely different bumper that has more space, but I think just removing this completely will be really cool. Just have it go right into the radiator and intercooler, the heat exchanger. And then I think what we're gonna do as well is I think I'm just gonna take this reservoir out and
cold air intake.
Put the cold air intake, and then probably take out this
fog lamp.
Fog light, and then oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like direct flow if we take that fog lamp out, but it gets air into this pocket. And that's a good place for it.
What's great about this whole setup too is like, we're gonna cut the radiator support, just stand up the radiator, and then I mean, look how much room we'll have.
It's kind of crazy
for the turbo kit.
It's kind of crazy.
I mean, I'll have a radiator right here, and then a heat exchanger behind it or in front of it. And I mean, well, there's tons of room right here for intercooler stuff.
In the Trans Am, the motor comes like down to here.
Yeah.
You know? It's a lot more
stock
engine.
air box, everything.
And it's gonna look so much better. But part of the problem is it's so tucked in there that working on these things is a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
One of my friends recently, it might have been, I don't know, it was Garner. He was able to pull the heads off with it in the car.
Nice.
It was a huge bitch.
From this?
Yeah.
I feel like you could do that easily. I mean, we have a lot of room. I'd say it's easy, but you know.
Yeah, once everything is wired up and plugged in, it might not be so easy. But yeah, you can get both heads off.
And then we've also I found some cool stuff. I forget the name, I'll put it on screen, but somebody makes an adapter for a Ford 8.8 rear end that you can weld on for the torque arm and stuff. And you just need the axle tubes from the stock 10 bolt and weld them all together. Then you have a strong Ford 8.8 rear end, much cheaper than what you can get a Ford 9-inch for.
That would be really cool.
And then we can probably just buy a T56 core and then use the T5 bell housing.
That would be awesome.
And then have T56, the 3800, Ford 8.8. It'd be pretty bulletproof for like the amount of power it'd be taking. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and get this moved into the driveway again finally.
Yeah, finally. And then it's gonna sit there for a little bit. Which sucks. We're gonna completely take obviously the whole K member out again. In fact, like the transmission barely has a few bolts holding it in.
It's actually not going to be very hard to pull this out. Nothing's connected at all.
Nothing. In fact, we
just have to lift it up
and that's it.
Yep.
But yeah, we're gonna roll the whole thing back in the garage. Gonna take the engine off the K member. Gonna completely change to the new K member, and that'll be exciting. And we're probably gonna
swap over all the suspension to it, the steering, the sway bar.
Put the engine back up on the engine stand. And
tear it down real fast.
I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that bad. Also give us a good opportunity to make sure that all the bolts that we put in are Teflon taped and stuff.
Oh yeah, and then also there's a few bolts that I can already see that it's missing, that it's going to need, or it's going to leak.
Yep.
It's pretty shitty how this block is. You need bolts in certain places or they will just leak coolant because there's bolt holes right behind coolant passages. I don't like that. Also,
this is a good question for you guys, but L67 bottom end, since we're not using a supercharger, we have this big balancer. Is it good for us? Is it okay if we swap to a Camaro balancer? or does it need this balancer for the balance of the like rotating assembly?
Right, we don't have the balancer shaft in it anymore, obviously.
Yeah, it's gone.
And so we were just thinking maybe it needs that for the balancing, but just let us know what you think. We're going to be asking around several other people, see what they say, and go from there.
Yep. So let's get this moving, I guess.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
That's how the Camaro gets treated around here.
Oh yeah.
Just so you guys know, these are getting thrown away.
If you guys want these, I mean,
hey, free. They are free.
not free. These are race car seats. I mean, look at that.
It's a little bit of added weight, but you know, nothing to see there. That was pretty epic,
But
though.
by the way, kids, the secret to doing a really good rear-wheel drive burnout in a really old car is make sure that the brakes are done in the back.
Oh yeah,
there's
no
no
brakes.
pads left.
No brakes left in the
Y'all
rear.
good there? Come back now, you hear?
Look at this spider.
That right there, and then him like doing the burnout on the seat should be one of our outros.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I was also thinking, watching our video last night, you showing Vince's like donuts. We should have the Bonneville doing that burnout.
We
be
should.
one of the outros.
Or we should
too.
do like a channel intro. Hey, look at that! Look at that one wheel peel. Look at the
Pretty
Explorer.
good.
That's awesome.
Okay.
All right, ready to push?
Don't get stuck in the door is all I gotta say. Nope.
Ooh.
Oh, we should have seen that coming.
Guys, I'm retarded. Here, just throw them out here. This car's
Sorry
trying to
guys, I'm
drive.
retarded. It's fine. Okay. I think that will clear now. Okay.
Oh my god.
Stop.
Bring the back out that way. Don't push it so hard because we don't want the front wheels to come off. Okay.
Okay, stop.
Turn your wheel.
Are we ready to start hooking it up this way?
We're gonna have to, because otherwise that
Yeah, that-
driver's
right.
front is gonna come off.
Yeah, the left wheel's gonna.
Okay.
Okay, we're at wheel lock. Get some momentum.
Watch
Oh,
out for your Mustang.
Watch out
All
for
right,
your Mustang.
straight it up.
Okay, hold it. Yep. Can you hold it?
Yeah, we're good.
We got the e-brake too.
It's true.
Oh, that's good. That's a bit too much. Turn it a bit
Yeah.
more. Turn it a little bit more. Okay, good. All right, push. Keep going.
Welcome home, buddy.
Oh no.
It's been a while.
All right, straighten it out. Straighten it out.
It's not good to have you back home.
Okay, probably don't want to go too far. That's good. Yeah. Oh,
We actually might want to go back a little bit.
Yeah, we can adjust it a bit more.
Can you guys pick up your trash? Please?
We need to have it hook a little bit left.
That's pretty epic to watch Isaiah just do a burnout on one of the seats.
That was really cool.
I ruined one. It's great.
We gotta throw them away.
Made it look better.
But yeah, we just need to turn it a little bit. Oh man, I hate seeing this here. Yeah, we don't need this crap. Go to the mega gay zone.
The mega gay zone.
That thing's just broken in there. It'll pull out, yeah. There you go.
Damn. We just need to cut this fucker off.
Yeah. Because
What are
also
all these
that,
wires for? Yank.
for the AC, that box back there too, the exhaust manifold touches it.
Oh, does it? That's not great. Oh.
That's
Let me
part of
see
the
it.
heater box.
Yeah, look at that. That's definitely not good.
That's fine.
So we're definitely gonna be taking this apart a little bit to see what's what with that.
Yep.
Here you go, Davis.
For sure. But yeah, we're just gonna go ahead and
Send it.
I think we're not taking the motor out today.
No.
We just don't got the time
Well,
for that.
We probably don't have the manpower. I
Possibly.
think we
yeah.
need 4 people to do that.
Or energy.
Yep. So I think
Or
we're
motivation.
yeah, no motivation. I think what we're gonna do is maybe we can just get the turbo manifold bolted
But
up.
it looks so good, Davis. I don't want to move it.
I know. We get the turbo manifold, at least this side, bolted up just to see how much how much room we have under it for the downpipe of the turbo.
And when we get this locked in the car, we'll use the other turbo because the other back housing is much larger, so that will be a more true test.
Yeah, we can also put the.
We're gonna want both of them.
See where the heat exchanger is gonna sit in there.
Yeah.
Or the air to water intercooler.
To make this work, I think this might have to come out a little bit more.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And so it will have to, I don't know how it will make that bend, but we'll figure that out.
That's fine.
Silicone will let it bend a little bit.
Yeah.
But this kind of sucks. We're gonna have to go from a 2.5 to a 3.5.
Yeah.
That's a big jump. I mean, there are silicone couplers that do that, but it's kind of shitty, you know? It'd kind of be better if we had like just 3 or 3.5 inch the whole way.
Possibly. I mean, just message
if
Max
that'd be
Speed and Rods and have them ship it out.
Yeah, right.
Just be like, hey, actually, we need 3.
Hey,
inch.
about the.
I think it'll be easier with 2.5, and the power level we were going for, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. And then before we get these like actually officially on the car for the last time, we'll wrap them, and I'll get like a turbo blanket.
Yep.
And so
we'll wrap them, maybe even Zycoat them, like that Zycoat company. Get a turbo blanket. The downpipe, we'll wrap it as well. We'll have a O2 bungs out of there. And then
we'll make some heat shields.
We could even have, I mean, you can kind of see up there, I have some, it's actually very invisible, but I have some padding that is DEI, design engineering something, heat resistant stuff. It's basically like, what would you call it?
Was it like Dynamat?
It's like Dynamat, yeah. And it'll resist heat. We can put it all over this core, so it just less heat penetration in there. Yeah, I mean, methanol injection will help, and then the air-to-water intercooler, and maybe even an ice tank will help with IATs. There's no intercooler on the, engine side, just air-to-water intercooler here, and then, buy a big heat exchanger.
Yeah, I think that would be so awesome once we have it all, like, in the car and done. But I'm really excited about that K-member going in.
Yeah.
That's going to be so awesome once we actually have it. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of work done with that engine that we're going to have to figure out before we end up getting that stuff. Are you okay, Dad? You fall asleep? Yeah, he's snoozing. He's snoozing.
Dad just needed beer.
What, are they about to fall asleep? Yep. Oh, no. Alrighty. Well, yeah, we're going to probably just get things situated here, and we'll be back to show you what the turbo manifold looks like on there. Alright, guys, turbo's off the stands. We got the manifold kind of set up. It's only bolted on that side because we showed this before, but the back touches the heater box or the AC box, whatever it is, pretty badly, and it's not even in the position. It needs to go back just a little bit. So once we have the motor out, we can address, notching it or removing it entirely. But you can see the turbo's on here. It effectively will shoot right down in there, and if we measured this, it might be a bit too long. We might need to take off like another inch right here, but it'll sit in like that, and this 45 for max being rods fits perfectly. And then this side for the this is where it'd be orientated because it goes straight in, straight out, goes right into where the intake will be, because imagine right here is where the throttle body will be. So looking pretty good. The only thing that's kind of, we need to figure out a bit more, actually we should probably redo the measurement with this, because this is going to be sitting in more centered. So we'll have to redo that, but that's fine. This isn't, we haven't cut it yet. And then we were originally getting a 4-bolt V-band right here, so it'd be easier to remove. But with a V-band, it might add like 2 inches, and then a 90 on top of that, it would probably come in contact or come very close to this intake pipe. We can wrap it, and a lot of intakes actually, a lot of turbo kits, the intake comes very close to the exhaust, but want to avoid it if possible. So we might just look for a 4-bolt 90.
If they have it.
To make it as small as possible. We could even move these hoses, around this way just to avoid that. But I mean, looking at it, we have quite a bit of room for this turbo kit.
I wonder if they make like an angle too, not just a straight 90, but if we can modify it to come out like over here, at an angle. That might be
well, yeah, it's a 4-bolt, and we could angle it, yeah, for sure. But it would basically come down here, and then, so imagine like a 90 another 90, and then off that, a 90 like that. We have plenty of room under the manifold for the exhaust to go through. Like, I'm actually surprised at how much room we have.
I wonder with all those 90s how much back pressure that would cause, because that would be
well, it's the only way to do it, so I mean, it's your only option.
Unless someone like pie cuts and welds a custom tube, you know. If we get someone to
no, it
custom
doesn't even
make
need to
ours.
be. It doesn't even need to be pie cuts from it. I can tell. I mean, it's just going to be a 90, 90, 90.
Yeah, I mean that would be the easier way. I'm sure someone could fabricate something. I mean, we don't know anyone who can, but
Well, we have some leads. There's some people locally that do welding.
if we had someone to custom make one, I bet we could get one that had better flow than just 390s. But I mean, I think that's what we're gonna have to do.
I don't think you'll have any issues with 390s at all. For something like this, you're not going to run into back pressure issues.
But yeah, getting it snaked back there, it's definitely gonna take some doing, having to completely make that.
But it'll be worth it for sure.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's no real other choice besides, you know, piping it out like the bumper. And honestly, I really don't like the place that the turbo
Placement
sits
of the
on.
turbo, yeah.
I think it's awful. I think that, you know, the intake coming out this side and the exhaust coming out that side is just really bad. I mean, this is literally the only turbo kit on the market for these F bodies for the V6. I think it's shit. I think it's not good.
It was, I mean, you have to delete the AC and you have
Which
to
it
notch
doesn't say that, you
Yep.
know. They never claim that you have to do that. Okay, that's not a big deal. But like, if
You
we
might
didn't
even
have
have to
this,
might even have to delete these heater lines. I mean, our best bet is to get them like really up here, like pinned with some self tappers and the band, whatever they're called, up, and then extend these lines into there.
yeah, I also think making a physical metal heat shield between the two is gonna be necessary. But if we didn't have this setup right here, I honestly, getting the intake over there seems like a lot of work.
I think a front mount intercooler air to air would be really annoying because you have to pipe it through to some type of front mount and then off the other side pipe it up. It would be much more work. This with air to water intercooler, this is just like so simple, and it's such a short path for the charge air to go. There's probably gonna be very little lag.
I agree. I think if the turbo were flipped, it would be a much better setup. But there's just no
Yeah.
possible way in that place to do that, considering the turbo will hit the,
Here's what you do:
the
you
alternator.
flip it, the turbo will come out right there, right into there.
There you go.
on the
Don't need
intake.
intercooler, just meth.
Yep,
But
just a bunch of meth and ethanol.
that just seems like it would be so much better if it were flipped. But
Mm-hmm.
that's just not how it can work.
And then also we have to consider the bypass valve where we're going to place it.
Oh yeah, the wastegate.
Wastegate. We're thinking about, you know, pie cut, or not pie cut, hole saw in the bottom, and then have it right off the bottom.
Which that will affect the that will affect our exhaust system too.
Yeah, we might.
What we
need to
might be
figure
able
out
to
where
do is
that
we might
goes.
be able to get it sticking out this way, but I don't see a way because there's just not a lot of material here.
Yeah,
Um,
we would need to have it modified for sure.
yeah, but like straight down, I'm not sure. That would probably get in the way.
Yep, and then there's a pipe that comes off of it too.
It could feed. Actually, it could feed right into the exhaust.
That's what I was saying. We can make it so that it circulates
one
into
pipe.
the normal exhaust.
Yeah, I like that look.
And have no screamer pipe, no just like exhaust smell in the, you know, the engine bay, or even just dumping it out the side somewhere. If we can recirculate it into the exhaust, that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
And this side too. I mean, like, look at this. This is really cool. Now we can just have cold air possibly just go straight into the reservoir area. This removes here. Be awesome.
I wonder if I have the wastegate here.
You don't?
I don't.
No.
Probably did.
No, they're at your place or your storage unit or something.
Crap. That would have been good because I don't know how. It's not very big. So
61
maybe
mil.
Maybe it would be fine sticking at the bottom of that where they collect, but I just don't know. It might get in the way of the exhaust.
Worst case scenario, you could use this one and then just add another one over here and have two.
Yeah, at the minimum, that pipe would have to get larger because I think that's for like a 32 or 38 millimeter wastegate, and we have a 60.
The bypass valve for the charged cold side. I mean, we can have it right off one of these pipes. Just have it face off like this.
Yeah, you know what? We could put some like angle to this if it needs to be, and it could, you know, we could have it angled with like another 45 or something off of this one. It would be weird, but we might be able, or we might have to do that depending on how far the exhaust is going to come out.
Yeah.
We have no idea actually how far it's going to come, And if we could find that adapter that's just a 90-degree right off it,
yeah, if you
that
guys
would be the
can
play.
tell us, yeah, if you can show us a 4-bolt 3-inch just 90, that'd be perfect.
But yeah, I can see this having some problems if it's going straight from there to there. That doesn't leave us a lot of room. It's going to come close.
And possibly, like I said, there's lots of turbo kits where it comes very close to exhaust pipes.
Right.
You just wrap it or whatever.
Yeah. But like, you know, what the hell's the reason I'm having an intercooler if it's heating it, literally the charge air right after the intercooler?
Like I said, tons of kits do it. So
I get it. But methanol will definitely help that a lot.
Methanol and then the air-to-water intercooler. I mean, it's going to be a great system. We're going to buy some bigger fittings for these. We don't need to use 3-inch or 3/4 inch lines.
Mm-hmm.
We could even, I mean, I don't know if this is even feasible, but cut these off and then have full inch bungs welded on. Another thing is like how we're going to mount this, because it came with no mounting hardware. No. Unfortunately, the photos show it did, but this doesn't. We could probably weld some on, or like I was thinking, since it tapers down, we just have something that will slip on both sides of it to hold it up.
Yeah, we might be able to make something like that.
And just silicone couplers in the clamps. I mean, that'll do a decent job of holding it up as well.
It's going to be heavy as shit once there's water in it.
Yeah.
It's already really heavy. It feels like it's 30, 40 pounds already.
It's pretty heavy, and then water is, 1 gallon is 8 pounds.
So, and I bet that'll hold at least a gallon in it, if not more, because it's
Yeah.
big. So, it's going to be pretty heavy. If all else fails, I think what we can do is we can have this come up a little higher, and then have something on the bottom being just supporting it from the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't seem like the best way to go about it,
No.
because it's going to be pretty low. Well, I guess the K-member is lower than that would be now.
We don't want this to be the lowest point of the car.
We don't, and I don't think it would. But if we got a little bit higher,
It's pretty freaking low right now.
yeah, it is also sitting on a bowl.
Yeah, we'll come down here. Look how low it lays.
Yeah, it's if it were just a couple inches higher, it would clear the whole subframe. You know, like if we were really hitting stuff on the road, it's not gonna hit that.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be this low, and I mean, still for it to work, it'll work fine if it was higher too.
Yeah. So
Another question for Garner: how he has his mounted, I guess.
yeah, because I think he has actually the exact same.
Mm-hmm. It looks like the same one.
Because he told me it was max speeding rods.
Interesting.
In fact, that exact one was $300 on Amazon.
Nice. You know, I saw on Cletus's channel, Georgie bought some fucking max.
Or no, they bought it for him. I think. I don't think Georgie bought them. I think and it was on Amazon.
Yeah, for like $130 or something.
Oh man.
120
for that turbo? You think?
It was a GT 45. No, I'm mistaken on the pricing. GT 45 is much more expensive.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like $200 some.
Oh. Are they what kind of a size?
It's bigger. It says
Bigger,
GT 45 versus a
the ones
GT 35.
The one that he has right now, already on that truck, is so small.
Mm-hmm.
They're like babies.
Yeah, the GT 45 is something Vince would want for like twin turbos on his car. I mean, GT 35s would work too, but the back pressure is not great.
Right, especially with that small of a housing.
Yeah, we have a bunch of stuff to clean up in here, obviously. I mean, what the hell is this? Is this for the methanol?
No.
What is it then?
I don't know.
Vacuum line? Is this for the methanol?
The clear one, yeah, that's methanol.
And then we have
which we're gonna have to route better
fuel.
because
fuel lines, which will need to be like bent out of the way for sure, and then wrapped because it comes so close to the headers.
Yeah, I think also maybe a plate is necessary, but damn.
I think a plate was there originally.
Yeah, I think so. But I think this is the wideband wiring.
Yep. We literally just delete it.
Yeah, we should. I mean, because we're gonna have to redo it. Throttle cables. I think we're gonna need a new master cylinder because this one seems pretty gross. Like,
it's fine.
It was like all the bolts on it were rusty. I don't know how good it does. If they're cheap, I can just pick one up.
But there you go, guys. Look at that thing. Yeah, it's cool mocking up like this. I mean, it looks like it should be a really simple system. We just need to figure out the exhaust side. That's the only like challenging part, but it's like we just need to buy the...
We need a damn welder.
Yeah, what I think we should do, I mentioned this in the other video, is, well, can't really do it super well right now, but we'll do our best. But we'll get the adapter for the turbo, so we'll know exactly where it's going to sit on here. We might need to notch that, but we can't really do... We might be able to do it in the car. Either way, I want to get the turbo hot side where it's going to be, and then we need to buy some 3-inch exhaust, what we're going to use, and then we can kind of get it together, tape it together, and then so we have one piece that we know is kind of how we want to route it. Either bring it to a welder or try welding it ourselves with the welder that we purchase.
Yeah, what we'll do is when we get it right where we need to, you'll draw a Sharpie mark.
Yeah, I know.
On several different places,
Yep.
and then that'll help them.
Sharpie it and then just tape it together.
But I think we should just literally buy a kit like this and just buy some 90s.
Yeah, that's what I put on the spreadsheet.
45s.
I got the expensive stuff, 304 stainless. That's actually kind of hard to weld, so we might get some cheaper
Let's just get mild
stainless.
steel.
Yeah. Just the cheap stuff to use. I mean, it's not great for the finish of it. Like 304 is rust proof.
It'll do exactly that.
Yeah.
You know, so it won't look good, but
I think this is still classified as stainless. But I mean, you can see how. I mean, there's no rust on it. There's just tons. It's like been ran. You know.
Yep. In fact, I bet those haven't been run for long either, because I bet they'll get even darker, like that purple. Because that's what my headers did on my Bonneville, since they're not coated or anything.
Yep. And then we have. I think I mentioned in video, but we have. We're gonna buy the fittings for the pump. We have a sandwich plate that goes on there. They'll pump oil into the turbo, and then we'll get an adapter that goes here. And then I welded, or not welded on. I got one of those videos. You can see there's an oil return bung 10 AN.
Yeah, we drilled a hole right in that oil pan, and then we just tapped it.
Yep. So that is a good drain spot. I'm glad I put it on that side.
Yeah.
If I put it on that side,
that would have been. I mean, it would have been annoying, but it would have been useful.
I'm just out of all this really happy how much room we have under the exhaust manifold just to get a pipe in, because once we have it centered where we want it, it can just go straight down, straight, and then down to a stock location. From there, we can get a stock exhaust type on there, or we can do our own stuff, which is also fun.
You know, looking at it, it doesn't seem like the that K-member. I don't think it's actually going to give us any more room.
No, it's not.
With the engine mounts to the exact same spot, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to give us any more room. It's going to look really nice, though.
And it's lighter, and technically we'll probably have an easier job getting to spark plugs.
Definitely. Like, just how much room
because
the K-member takes up is pretty substantial.
Most of the time with these, how it's going to be with these spark plugs is we're probably going to have to come from the bottom to get to them.
Yeah.
And with the K-member, it'll be super easy.
Or just a lot of luck.
That's another thing. This side isn't where it's going to be because it's not bolted up. This side is somewhat bolted up. Hopefully it just doesn't come very close to the exhaust, you know, with the boost.
With the steering rack, it's going to be such a pain to get in there. You know, I didn't even think about the steering rack. That's so much room to not be able to get to the spark plugs.
Yeah, it's fine.
Like, you just have to... Like this, I don't know how I would get a tool in there.
Also, we don't know if we're going to keep this flange system.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Might put a V-band on it.
Looks like dog shit like that.
Yep.
And it doesn't fit very well. So I think we might just...
But you might need it for the flex. You might need it for the flexibility, though.
Forgot about that. We might have to weld in a flex pipe.
Yeah, a flex bend.
Just like Garner did.
Yeah.
He recommends it.
I think that's a good idea too, because of two separate banks.
You know what? We could just cut that out and put that flex pipe right there. So it doesn't need it won't need one. But
yeah,
then,
because it'll disconnect there. I mean, we were able to, this was, you know, together, we were able to slide the turbo kit on as one piece, basically. Obviously, it's flexible, but if we had a flex pipe there and then we have the V-band kind of loose, it's easier to take in and out.
Yeah, I mean, I can see...
Let's do that. Let's definitely get a flex pipe there.
I can see the kind of like... It might be easier to take it off in two pieces, but I think it's worth it just to not use that flange anymore and get the flex pipe in there. Just make it solid one piece. I don't think it will be that bad.
Yep, and we don't need these bungs either, so we can just plug them, or we can cut them and weld them.
So you know what I was thinking is, you know how this is angled where the radiator used to sit? What we could do is we could cut it and then weld it straight, and then we can maybe extend it, get it lower, extend it, come over here. This could sit on that possibly.
Man, if it was that high though, it would be right here.
Yeah, and I don't think
that's not bad still.
Yeah, it's not bad. And I think that if we can get it flat, I think this can go a little bit lower.
That's true.
But all the bracketry that holds it on, we'd have to obviously redo it. It's like spot welded to the engine bay right here, and then it's got like a little bracket it's not really necessary. We could extend that and weld it, but like this is all dependent on us having a welder at home.
Yeah, I mean,
because ours it will burn holes in whatever we try and weld. It's that trash. I mean, There's not, you just don't expect much. If you buy a $100 welder, don't expect much.
For
and
sure.
well, it kind of was a waste of money.
Yeah, in a way. I mean,
welded-
Austin was able to use it, but he's got the skill.
We welded one thing. You were able to weld my traction bar, right?
Yeah, your torque arm. What is it called?
It's the thing that connects the transmission to the diff.
I said it earlier, but I forget what it is.
But we welded that. You're able to weld that pretty well.
I was able to weld your exhaust, the O2 bung, and I was able to weld the EGR block off one.
Oh yeah, that also is a very simple thing to weld.
Yeah.
So I just realistically don't think that welder's gonna do anything for us.
For sure.
Especially with thin metal like all of this.
And if we're
stuff
using
here.
stainless exhaust, it just wouldn't work either.
Oh yeah. So I think that might be our next buy.
Yeah, just need to do some general cleaning. I mean, first off, order of operation. We get the subframe, everything out. I guess maybe we should kind of figure out the exhaust first, or no. Once we have the K-member in, once we have the box modified or removed, we can put the motor in, we can bolt up the exhaust manifold, and then see how we need to modify it, how we route the hot side, get those finalized. Once those are finalized, it's going to be super easy to just get the car running.
Yeah, and then by that time we'll have to I'll have the T-flange bought, and then we'll figure out which kind of adapter that we need to buy, like that 90 you were talking about. If that exists, we need to buy it.
For sure. I mean, I can just search it right now. I'm sure there's going to be like a 4-bolt 90.
And then we're going to have to figure out everything else with the harness and the vacuum lines, the clutch lines. We're going to have to bleed the brakes and clutch again.
Thinking the new throwout bearing we bought, we should just get one that accepts AN lines and just have an AN line from the throwout to the
Not a bad idea.
to the clutch pedal.
Not a bad idea. I like that.
Oh, we use a silicone coupler for the
Oh Jesus!
for the turbo.
Christ.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll have to find one. There's, oh boy, look at that. There's
What the hell? That is
it's
interesting.
like well, it's for like a house. It's like
Let's use that.
HVAC.
Let's use that. But yeah, we'll figure that one out. What else? What else are we gonna have to do to it?
Well, to get it right, so yeah, lift it up, get everything out,
Oh, for sure.
do the piston rings, swap it onto the new K-member, get it back under here, probably modify the, just get the new throwout bearing clutch line for the dash 4AN, and then once it's in here, well, also while it's out, take care of that box, either notch it or remove it, and then once it's in here, get the turbo kit bolted up properly. Then we can guess measure this for the flex pipe. We'll have the adapter that'll position the turbo properly because you can see it's farther back. We can get the 90-degree bend, and then from there we can piece together the downpipe. And then once that's done, finalize, get it all welded. And then once that's done, we'll need to make a bracket for this, stand the radiator. And yeah, we're gonna be cutting this last because we need to use this core support to lift the car up. We're gonna have to figure out how to lift it up in the future if we ever do something with it too.
Well, I think while we're at it, we should probably just weld in like stronger supports that will let us do that. Maybe. It's just like because yeah, you are right. We do pull off this.
You have to cut basically from right here to right here.
Yeah, you have to at least like notch out a lot of it, so it keeps some of it, but that's not going to be structurally sound for us to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
What we could do.
I mean, we have frame rails there and there.
Yeah, we might
literally just weld like a hook on either side, have
that's
a chain.
Not a bad idea.
Yeah.
We better fucking hope that is like a good weld.
Yeah.
or just bolt it in. That too. We could do both.
Yep. Nutsert it.
And just
The nutserts would probably fail us, huh?
Yeah, but I like that idea actually, just putting hooks there, because I don't think that we're gonna have a lot of stuff right here, you know? I don't think that we're gonna have almost anything. When the radiators are stood up, there shouldn't be anything down here. And I like that idea of having hooks instead of pulling off of this.
I'll have to figure out where the Davies Craig EWP is going to go.
You know what? There's a lot of room right under here. You know, we might.
I think we're probably just going to have to take off the front bumper.
We
when
for
we
sure
do all
are gonna
this.
have to take off the bumper and then put it behind there.
Yep.
Yeah, because there's a lot of room right under here and right under that coolant reservoir.
It can literally from here, like this could be the cold side, go to like some type of I mean, we don't need a reservoir, but reservoir would be good.
Would be better.
And then feed back down into the turbo, and the turbo will have, it's like a turbo. The water pump will shoot into heat exchanger, wherever we're going to place that, and then from the heat exchanger it goes right into here.
Yeah, and then this being taken out will give us so much better flow for not only the radiator. Well, actually, you know what?
And then on top of that, Tristan,
won't.
then on top of that, then you get some track spec hood vents.
That'd be cool. I kind of want a cow hood for this thing. That'd be so sick.
Well,
the only
I mean,
problem is
with the turbo, we're gonna have to notch the hood too.
yeah, that's what sucks about it. Cause like the cow hood is not gonna be over the turbo, so it ain't gonna really matter. Oh, well, that's a bunch of shit. But
Yeah.
the turbo with we're gonna have to get like a low profile flange because it's gonna hit the
Yeah, the flange that we're gonna have is going to raise it still like half an inch at least.
at least.
Maybe 3/4 of an inch. And we're already hitting the hood, so
After looking
There's
at
that.
this thing, you know, you got this plastic that completely blocks it from like
yeah.
for
Well, that's because they used to be slanted or direct air.
And so we're gonna have to take all that out for this to even give air to it because it's just hitting that plastic and going up. You
Yep.
know, it's not meant. Air's not meant to go through there. And so it also has a gigantic freaking
Washer
fluid reservoir, which
Methanol.
or we could put the coolant, you know,
Sure.
the
Repurpose it as the coolant.
intercooler reservoir.
Oh, intercooler. This could be the intercooler reservoir. Yeah.
You know.
We just drill a bung on there or something.
Yeah, and then we could just like maybe make a bigger cap so like ice could fit in it easier.
Sure.
Yeah, ice could fit in that.
You would want baffles so it doesn't go in the lines. How old is that? Oh my god.
Oh.
That Kool-Aid's a bit gone.
But it's massive. Like no other car that I've ever seen has this big of a washer
You have a
fluid tank.
like, I mean, if you can put stuff in the bumper up to this point, you have a good like 3 feet of like space in front of you.
We could even take the if we're not going to use it, take the washer fluid completely out because it takes up so much room that air could pass through.
I like having a washer fluid reservoir or washer fluid sprayers, but it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I haven't had it in my Bonneville for quite a while. It's not the biggest deal. It's convenient though.
Yeah, I'd like to see what this looks like with the intake on top.
Yeah, me too. I also want to paint it the same color.
Yep.
People keep telling me not to, but I won't.
You should wrinkle wrap it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyways, I think that's probably going to do it. We talked a lot for sure in this video,
Yeah, this is gonna be a long ass video.
but you guys like long videos, so there's that too.
Do they?
Yeah, they do. So anyways, if you'd like to support us in this build, we have Patreon. We upload behind the scenes videos as well as pre-release early access stuff. So if you're a Patreon, you're probably watching this right now. And leave a super thanks. That always helps the channel too. Liking the video just so it gets out on the algorithm and everything helps as well. So thanks for watching. We'll definitely have some more content on the Camaro very soon. It's like what we're working on right now. So we're going to look at what we need, probably order some parts to get us to the next stage. And because next stage we're lifting up the car, getting the motor and everything out transferred over to this Spoon Performance K-member and rebuilding it on the stand. Not rebuilding, checking the rings.
Yeah, I mean replacing the rings, and then checking the. Man, if those cylinder walls are rusty, we're gonna have a.
Well, they were
shit
already
time.
pitted to begin with.
They were.
They remachined them, but not perfect. Yep. Anyways, that's gonna do it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.